Boomer Sooner, everybody. You guys know me. I'm Harry James. Coming up next in the OU football preview show. Now, I know it's kind of early for this, but I want to spend next week and Easter with the family. So, with that being said, this will be your spring football preview show a little earlier this year, because of the Easter conflict. With that being said, here's your Sooner Stumper to get us started. I need to know we all know that Brent Venables attended Garden City Community College for 2 years before attending Kansas State. I need to know the former Sooner, later Minnesota Viking offensive line, and now kind of back in Oklahoma as kind of a coach's assistant role, graduate assistant role. I need to know that former offensive lineman. Here's your hint, by the way, guys. He was on the line with Oklahoma, by the way, from 2007 to 2009. Who was this offensive line? Plus, we'll do all the stuff. We'll preview the season outlook, home and road for the Sooners. All that and more coming up next. Boomer Sooner 1982. Don't go away. OU football preview show for the spring game, everybody. You guys know me. I'm Harry James. A Sooner Stumper to start us off. Brent Venables attended Garden City Community College before spending 2 years at Kansas State. We need you to name the former Sooner, later Minnesota Viking, and now current Oklahoma graduate assistant who also attended Garden City Community College. Your hint was he was an offensive line on the Sooners from 2007 to 2009, and your answer is big number 79, Phil Loadholt. He's now retired from the Minnesota Vikings and the NFL and will be a graduate assistant here at Oklahoma with the offensive line. Pre-game festivities for this one. Of course, we all know WWLS, the sports animal. They're always at O'Connell's, right there on the campus corner. You can't miss it. Across the street from them usually is the Ref, or Sports Talk 1400, if you will. Now the Ref. Balfour, Norman, is where they're at. Right there, again, on campus corner. If you're at O'Connell's for WWLS, right across the street. Can't miss it. From one side to the other. A little bit further up the street is the Franchise. Now the Franchise, a little bit closer to where you want to be for the spring game, just north of the football stadium. Boom, right there. There's also usually for the fall festivities, for the fall games, there's usually food trucks and that around there, around campus, that place usually happening. That is the Party at the Palace. Party at the Palace is also where Chris Plank and Teddy Lehman take over. Chris Plank, Teddy Lehman, and Gabe Eichard take over. Particularly Gabe and Plank take over from there. Usually about 2.5 hours before the game kicks off. The spring game, we don't know what that's going to look like. We do know that it will be Saturday, September 23rd. That is September 23rd. That is a week from this Saturday, everybody. 1 week from the Saturday. Do not go up there on Saturday on Easter and expect to see the football game, because you won't. It will be the following Saturday on the 23rd. 2 o'clock kickoff time for this one. Some little knickknacks to know. Baker Mayfield will have his Heisman Trophy dedication. It will be at halftime of the stadium. You'll be able to see it on the Sooner Sports TV TV screens around the stadium. Those will be on right there outside of Heisman Park. Little tidbit else, no readmission will be admitted to the Sooner spring game, with Sooner Sports TV with Sooner Vision and Sooner Sports TV bringing you the halftime dedication. So if you leave, you have to have a different ticket to get back in. You might not even get back in. But if you do go and want to listen to the game on the radio, now there will be Soonersports.tv for the broadcasting. Don't know if they're going to do. Don't know exactly when they're going to do the TV broadcast, but you can still listen if you're not in Norman. Toby Rowland, Teddy Lehman, Gabe Eichert, and Chris Plank will have you covered. Play-by-play man will be Toby Rowland, T-Row in the morning show. Toby Rowland will be will be doing this one as play-by-play guy. He also calls basketball and baseball for the Sooners. Not only that, but also has a heavy plate with being the host of his own sports talk show on the Ref from 6 to 9, Monday through Fridays. Helping him do color, Teddy Lehman, color analyst, also the Ref Sports Radio Network, 3 to 6 on the Ref, Monday through Friday, and is the one half of the Oklahoma Breakdown on the podcast. They have a new podcast with Teddy and Gabe, who we're fixing to talk about, Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. So they have a midweek and an early week and a midweek game for you, set in stone usually. Speaking of the Oklahoma Breakdown, the other half of the Oklahoma Breakdown, Gabe Eichert. Eichert is the host of Big 12 Today on Sirius XM Channel 375. He does that from 3 to 5 and is the other half of the Oklahoma Breakdown with Teddy Lehman. He's the sideline analyst for the Sooners and the main sideline guy, the biggest guy in radio. He does Sooner Radio, sideline reporting. He does OU softball. He's also OU women's basketball when they can't get someone else to do it. That is Chris Plank. Plank is a KREF host, is a ref host, 9 to 11 on the Ref from 9 to 11 Monday through Friday, and has his own national radio show, 10 to 1 on the weekends on Fox Sports Radio. Oklahoma Sooners. Their head coach is Brent Venables. He has a dead even 0-0 record with no games. 0-0 in conference play, 0-0 in bowl records. Divisional championship histories. We all know this one. The Sooners have 8 divisional championships in the Stoops, Lincoln Riley, and now Brent Venables era. 2000, they include ones in 2000, 02, 03, 04, 06, 07, 08, and 2010. No one cares about that. No one cares about that. Those are divisional championships. They also have 4. They've also qualified for 4 Big 12 championships as either first or second place in the league. Done that when they were brought back to Big 12. They did that 17, 18, 19, and 2020. But you know what? No one cares about all that, do they? They care about the championships, the rings on each finger. There are 13 rings on these fingers from the Bob Stoops, Lincoln Riley, and now Brent Venables era. 2000, 02, 04, 06, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. That's a lot of championships, baby. That is a lot of Big 12 championships. One year not on there, 2021. As a recap of that 2021 season, what about 11-2 and 7-2 in league play? They did, however, qualify for a bowl game. They finished second in the league again, but they didn't finish high enough to outplay Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State and Baylor played in the Big 12 championships. They did, however, earn a bowl bid, and they got a little revenge over a onside kick fiasco and all that good jazz against Oregon. Won at 47-32. That happened in the Alamo Bowl last year of 2021. 2022 is on the horizon, and it's looking pretty good, guys. We got 6 home games, 6 road games, and 1 neutral site game. That's pretty even. The home games, we'll start off with 2 home games to start us off opening weekend. September 3rd, they'll play University of Texas, El Paso. They will then play Kent State, September the 10th, and then be on the road for their first of 5 road games. They'll be at Nebraska. That game will be September 17th, and it's a huge matchup against Big Red in Big Red Country. The Sooners will then be home for Kansas State against on September 24th. They will then be in the Metroplex for 2 weeks. First game will be at TCU on October the 1st. They will then play Texas October the 8th at the State Fair. This year, Oklahoma is, however, the designated home team for the Red River rivalry. This play, it will also, and it should also always be played at their State Fair in Texas. Sooners then head home for a true home game. They'll play it against the Kansas Jayhawks. Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk. That game will be on October 15th. The next week, which is October 22nd, that is the bye week for the Sooners. The Sooners jump back into conference play the exact next Thursday night on October the 27th. The Thursday night game this week at at Iowa State. Then will come, as it used to be called, and still should be called in my opinion, because I think it's pretty cool, Championship November. 3 games, or actually 4 games, 2 on the road, 2 home. We'll start with a home game against Baylor, November the 5th. They will then head to Morgantown, West Virginia on November the 13th. Then home for Senior Night and Bedlam Night, the 19th of November against the Aggies of Oklahoma State. And the final regular season game for the Sooners will be the 26th of November, as they will be in Lubbock at Texas Tech. The Big 12 Championship will then be played on December the 3rd at AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium. That game will be the 1 versus 2. We'll match up the top overall teams, in the Big 12 Conference. Alright guys, thanks for watching. My name's Harry James. We'll do the recap of the spring game in a couple of weeks. And then after that, we'll rest for a while, watch a little bit of the softball girls, see how far they can go. And then we'll do a deep dive, into the UTEP game in a couple of weeks. Alright guys, thanks for watching. My name is Harry James. You can catch this and all my other videos on the YouTube, Boomer Sooner 1982. Also, Facebook Harry James Taylor, or on the Twitter handle, @HypeManHarry. Give me a follow on Twitter. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and Boomer Sooner everybody. I'm out of here. Peace!